We're going to take a look here at PGMOL. This is them, United versus Brighton at the weekend. Take a listen to this. It's crazy.
Ahmad's dribbling against the Kuiper.
Ahmad's gone down.
No, not for me. No penalty there. Can we check that?
Okay, so Ahmad gets completely wiped out.
So it is a penalty?
Wait, hang on. The Kuiper gets the tiniest of touches on the ball.
But Ahmad is wiped out?
Yeah, but the direction of the ball does change by 1 millimetre.
So we now just let players wipe the opposition out if they get the tiniest of touches on the ball?
Yes, since Nick Pope and Gyökeres. If they get a tiny touch on the ball, it won't be a penalty.
But let's just say after the tiny touch on the ball, the attacker would still have the chance to go through and score if they weren't completely wiped out by the foul.
Nope, doesn't matter. Tiny touch on the ball, do whatever you like.
Wait, but when Saliba got a touch on the ball, then clashed heads with João Pedro last year, that was given as a penalty?
Yes.
So how does that make sense?
It doesn't. No penalty, check complete.
Right, okay. Now, we've checked. Right, Luke Shaw's been nutmegged by Ruta, who stops running for no reason.
Might have to check that.
And Mbuemo scores. Anything to check there? I'm getting a lot of complaints.
After Shaw gets nutmegged, he clearly pulls Ruta's shirt.
Yeah, I saw that, but I wagged my finger at it.
Why did you do that?
Not sure.
No, it was Shaw.
No, I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we know you're not sure. You're the referee. Shaw was the player.
What's going on?
I'm not sure.
I'm confused. Check complete?
Check complete. Go stands.
We've got Minter running through. Dorgu clips him. It's a free kick.
Potential Dogzo.
It's a clumsy challenge. I'm going to give a yellow card.
Fair enough. It can't be Dogzo because Minter has lost control of the ball.
Exactly.
So what's the yellow card for? It's an accidental off-the-ball trip. It's not a reckless challenge.
I don't know. I just wanted to give him a yellow card.
Fair enough.
Well done, boys. Good process.
That's one of the best things I've seen this year. I needed that. At the start, I actually genuinely thought he was just mimicking the voice doing the acting. That's amazing.
The thing is, the bit where again, I'm not sure. No, it was sure. No, I'm not sure. We know you're not sure. Check complete. I just wouldn't shock me if you ever heard that going on. It's why it's so funny because it's the nonsense they do. I saw it yesterday and thought, yeah, for me, that's some brilliant content. Brilliant.
But the thing is about that game is like, obviously we do United, we're United fans, but we also cover other things. And I'm very anti the PGMOL and VAR. Not VAR, I think VAR is fine. It's the people who run it. But the great thing about that Brighton game and the great thing about the Liverpool game is that Michael Oliver is still refereeing and he looked straight at McAllister go down with a head injury, and Dermot Gallagher tried to say he didn't see it, bollocks. And then at the weekend, the Ahmad penalty is just the most biggest penalty I've ever seen, and they still haven't apologised for it. The Luke Shaw foul was a foul; he literally pulled him down, and then Dorgu, who was getting pelters from some United fans, didn't even bloody foul him. And if you're given a yellow card, it's actually a red, but he didn't foul him anyway. And it was like 3 ridiculous decisions in one game.
Then the free kick 10 yards further forward than where the actual foul took place in the first place. The thing for me is like the Luke Shaw one. This is where the PGMOL are shit. Is people ask me, do you think it was a foul? I went, no. Why? Forget what I think. Fleeting pulls. They made 2 years. They went on about if a pull lasts less than a second, it's like that. They weren't giving fouls. So that's a perfect opportunity to come out, Dermot Gallagher, the PGMOL, and say, well, of course it isn't a foul. It's a fleeting pull. Here's the 50 other examples of fleeting pulls that we didn't give penalties for or fouls for. And everyone would go, well, I disagree with the rule, but you're being consistent. Dead silence. The Ahmad penalty is probably the best example because they did 2 years of saying small touches that barely deviate the ball and then taking a player out of fouls. Since the Nick Pope incident, they can't give them because the world's looking. And this is the issue. This is what I spoke about. On a more serious note, you see what's happened in Turkey with all the, I think out of their 500 odd referees in their country, and including assistants, over 350 of them have betting accounts and are betting on all my games. I'm not making a direct accusation, mainly because I don't want to be sued, but I still think there should be an independent inquiry to clear all countries' referees of that, because some of the decisions are so incompetent and so inconsistent. What would make more sense is that they are cheating for one reason or another. Then that makes more sense to me than the constant inconsistencies, if that makes sense. Because as fans, you sit there and go, hang on, you said one thing last week and something different this week. Is crazy. But I did love that content. I thought it was the most accurate piece of satire I've seen in a long time.
What frustrates me about it is, and we can all have a laugh about it, and it was brilliant, as you say, but what frustrates me is that game didn't matter. Like, we won. If that game had mattered, then, and that's the thing, they get away with it because it didn't matter. Yeah. But it does matter. And if I was Howard Webb, there's just these decisions are not mistakes. There's a backup. Like Howard, Anthony Taylor can make the mistake on the pitch, but what's Michael Oliver looking at with the Ahmad thing to say not a penalty? There's something. It's so boring though, Terry, because it's every bloody year and it'll be every other year. Like they're just not being held accountable. There should be an independent inquiry. Like there should be some sort of, if you're a politician and you fill in your taxes, there's an independent inquiry. There should be an independent inquiry into all refereeing decisions that are dodgy over the last 2 years. And then there should be an independent panel that comes out and says, we actually think there's something more than incompetence going on here, because it's every bloody week. So convinces it's not. I'd say to Howard Webb, we've done the inquiry. This is so rife and so regular. Are you owning up that it's incompetence, or are you going to tell us it's something else? Because it can't be anything else, Howard. So it's either mass incompetence or something else is going on. Which one is it? Because that's what's been swept under the carpet. And, we're allowed to say that. You can't get sued for that. It's either mass incompetence or something else is going on. Which one is it? And they won't own either.
I totally agree. And you think back to the Brentford situation. We got the penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Then should have been a red card. And then they delayed for 3 or 4 minutes. And then they allowed substitutions before the penalty, which is against the rules. And you might get a little apology for it, but whenever Man United lose and we get a bad decision go against us, the world of football doesn't care. And I still look at fans as we're an important part in this. And you saw Sheffield Wednesday in the last few weeks, they forced out an owner, didn't they? Do you know how they forced out an owner? Because they all stopped spending their fucking money. Told Man United fans for years, stop spending your money, the Glazers go. And then what they did, as soon as the owner went, 200 grand spent in the club shop in the space of a few weeks. And I know it's hard for people to sacrifice, but the same as when it comes to the PGMOL, we as fans, if we stop being so tribal, and every time something goes against, every time you benefit from a decision and people moan about it, people do this I get children doing it because their brains aren't fully formed, especially young boys. It takes you about 25 for your brain to function properly. Or some scientist said that once. Maybe it's not true, but I think it is. But when you get a lucky decision go your way and somebody says, referee got that wrong, people do this, well, you're saying I didn't deserve to win? It's like, why is that you must have seen this on socials. I love apples. Why are you saying oranges are shit? We have this weird mentality, right? And we do it so much in football, and we do it a lot. Fans have so much more power than we think, but we spend too much time in our tribalistic shitholes as opposed to looking at what's better for the game. And if we actually stood up against this, if we actually, I'm not saying the word protested, but, made a bit of a stance, made a bit of a threat. We're going to do X if you don't get this sorted. The FA could fix this straight away. And when it comes to the inconsistencies, we watch as fans, and you have an actual day job, which isn't refereeing decisions. But we all see it in the moment where we go, well, that's going to be a red. Why? Well, because of all the decisions last weekend and the weekend before. And then they don't give it. And I sit there and go, stick a couple of fans, especially Arsenal fans, in the van with the VAR men. As soon as they see it, they go, that's the same as last week and so, it's got to be a red. And they go, oh yeah, you're right. That's a bit about the inconsistent. I think I personally, pay me the money that Howard Webb gets, I could fix the inconsistencies in 3 months. I don't even think it's that hard because they've got all week to be shown, well, these have been reds, these are not reds. These are goals, these weren't goals. These were fouls, they weren't fouls. Pump that into them and you get less and less subjectivity and more objectivity based on previous decisions. How can they not remember these incidents like we as fans do when it's meant to be their day job? That strikes me as strange. It's like a heart surgeon not knowing what scalpel to use. It's weird to me.
I'd love to referee a game because that foul where the fullback gets it in the corner and it's going to be a foul. They're under a little bit of pressure and the attacker goes to try and get them and barely touches them. They fall over and the ref goes, I'll go play on. Oh, they're in on goal now because you've dived on the floor. Oh, well, I'm going to be consistent. That's not a foul anymore. And the fans will be going, get in. None of these stupid fouls anymore. And these long throw-ins, I'd go, you got 10 seconds to take it. Put your fucking towel down. Stop everybody moving around in the box. You've got 10 seconds or it's a throw-in for the opposite team. I'm going to make this game of football flow. That's my job. I'm here to entertain the fans. I'm not here to be seen. My job is to get the time in play up, and I'm going to do it. I'm not giving soft fouls. You're not taking a minute for a free kick or a throw-in. We're going to get this game flowing. And if you moan at me, I'll give a free kick 10 yards further forward. I'm not even going to give a yellow card.
That's what happened at school. old PE teacher, Mr. Hagger. He now runs. He might not be there anymore. He actually got very high up in. He left the schooling world. He was a big part of Fulham's academy. So that's how good he was. You know, he wasn't just a PE teacher. He refereed our game once. He was my manager. Year 8 I was, and I swore on the pitch. And it wasn't like swearing out of anger. Somebody was dribbling down the wing, and I said something like "run like the effing wind" or something stupid like that. He heard me. Just came over, bang, straight red card. Oh, I remember our teammates having a go at him. He booked two people on our team, his own students. And afterwards, we're in the dressing room, and he just said, well, I'm still going to referee the game properly. And he used to do that in matches he refereed. If you gave away a foul and you moaned, he'd do the rugby thing in football, 10 yards further forward. Within weeks, we as a team were so much better behaved on a discipline level, it will exist. But yeah, referees are terrible. The one that always gets me is when you get a 6'4", 15-stone centre back, you get slightly nudged in the back by someone Mason Mount size, they fall over and the ref blow the whistle. And I sit there and think, fuck off. Like, it's like my kid, it's like one of my boys, 5 and 10, nudging me and me falling over. They'd have to like hit me with a baseball bat a few times for it to knock me over. Yeah, it's crazy. It really, really is. Patrick here says, how many times has there been an incident and somehow when VAR gets involved, it becomes more confusing or less clear? Almost consistently in other sports, VAR provides clarity and not in. Yeah, it's true. Cricket, tennis, they've been using it for years. Everyone just goes boom and accepts it. It makes things quick, clean, easy, accurate. Patrick, always the voice of reason, mate. Speaking